Hello there. Pay no mind to his mumblings. We are going to see if Titus Hardie and his boys are still in the whirling in rags. I suspect they have fled, but we'll see. Oh, they're here. They're still here. So let's do a little prep work. Go into our things that we can interact with and interact with the fractured bullet and see if we can pin it on Titus.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
Let's feel the bullet through the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
What do I do with you, Bullet? I'm expecting our motoric skill and our physique skill to, really know what happened here, but maybe not. What do I do with you?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, Bullet?
Well, if I was the Bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me.
Good idea.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim.
Surely we can inspect the bullet to find out, what kind of gun, right? What kind of gun it came from.
In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Yeah, let's inspect the bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Does that mean it's a 5mm ammo? I know nothing about guns and ammo. Look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
I'm really surprised our hand-eye coordination hasn't talked to us or something like that, I was really expecting that. And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
Maybe we should have dug them all out, huh?
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet, close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Interesting. Military grade. Was he shot by one of his own? The mercenary? The mercenaries turned on each other?
Even the RCM uses ordinary and jacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Crazy. So, I was almost suspecting that the bullet came from our gun that we lost before we lost our memories. So apparently that's probably not what happened, since the RCM uses different bullets. Well, what are we at here? A legendary check. And we're at a 97% chance of success because we have a similar rifle on hand. And we're aware the name of the antique rifle we found. We got +5 from randomly finding that rifle. It's at the bottom. It's in the cellar by the bear. Which I guess probably a lot of people find that rifle, right? Because it's right next to the bear that you store the body in that allows you to fetch the bullet out of the body. Anyways, let's give this 97% chance a shot.
You can't remember what happened last time. What makes you think you're going to remember arcane firearm?
Well, I really thought that was gonna work. I kind of want to save scum that, but I'm not going to. Let's put away the bullet. We got a skill point. Let's level up our hand-eye coordination and try that again. I can't believe it. Oh, 97%.
In a plastic bag bearing the RCM.
Yeah, okay. Shut up.
A rifle, Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Make?
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution. 50 years ago.
Okay, so this actually does fit with Titus Harding, right? A revolutionary gun. And also it's, let's see, we got 19. And our dice was only 7, so that was like our average. I can't believe we failed. Wait, hang on. Oh, and I can't see. I should have checked to see how bad the failure was. It must have been like, critical failure. It must have been 1 + 1. We got a 2 on the dice. But, oh man, I really should have checked that. Because if we got a 2 on the dice, we still would have succeeded. It would have been 14 versus 14. Anyways, yeah, so he was shot by a revolutionary, huh? Sounds like the Union to me.
Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Was anyone still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Who uses Belmagrave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
That's what we said. We said, what are you thinking, Bullet? Or what am I doing with you, Bullet? Anyways, I think I know where this came from. Dangle the bag thoughtfully.
Okay. And?
This shot probably came from a Belmagrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
Why not?
Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been effective, from what I've seen.
Were the breech loaders inherited from the monarchy, or the laws prohibiting them inherited from the monarchy?
Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Ah, I see. The muzzle loaders are... Yeah, I think we should have more powerful guns. We're the law.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier.
Imagine that, says the American.
But back to the investigation.
Jamrock bangers. Seems we're looking for an antiques enthusiast?
Doesn't seem that likely, but
dang.
we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
All right, we'll put away the bullet. That was fun. I don't want to read anything right now. I really want to talk with Hardie. How's my minutes left? 44 minutes. Do I need to equip anything that could help? Maybe my... Let's see here. Where's my frickin' thing? What's it called? Oh, it's a tool. The Ledger of Failure and Hatred. -2 authority. Do we already have like 0 authority? Yeah. So this will be good, right? Because we can get -2 authority. Interesting. I was thinking 0 was the minimum. Well, that's fine. We don't need authority to talk to Titus. Hilarious. And yeah, what should we wear to talk with Titus? I'm thinking, what are we wearing right now? Probably what we're wearing right now is the best, isn't it? I'm thinking we might get in a fight. Can't believe we still don't have any pants or gloves. Or not gloves, shoes. Yeah, half-light versus interfacing or electrochemistry. Yeah, we're fine. Oh yeah, we don't have a necktie either. Oh well. And then the glasses. Sorry, had to take a quick pause there. I think we're good with these glasses. Logic. Yeah, that sounds fine. And then endurance versus jacket. Yeah, we'll keep. Although endurance might be nice if we get in a fight. Oh well, we're probably fine. Whew. Ooh, Titus, you were told to keep a low profile. Wait, did she say that? Who said that? Hello, friends. Yeah, what's up with that? You must be Titus Harding I've heard so much about.
Over here.
Oh. You okay, Elizabeth? What? Oh, we're not supposed to talk with him yet.
Let me handle this.
What? The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning toward you. Sticking up for Titus, are we, Elizabeth?
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
Indeed.
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
You're right, Lieutenant. She did seem friendlier sitting on that corner.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardie, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
She points to the man standing in the middle of the room. Indeed.
That's Titus. Talk to him, but know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming, nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
Well, I realize we're at a negative authority, but come on now. Kim certainly has some authority, at least.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
Yes, thank you, Kim.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What are you doing, Gardener?
Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
No way. Are you Elizabeth, Miss Buford?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardie.
She points to the tall man by the table. Okay, so you want me to talk to Titus. We just can't arrest him. So says, she's like the lawyer, right? We referred to her as the consigliere before we knew who she was.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face.
Easy Leo did tell me about her. Is that what I should say? Yeah, Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer.
Why
Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
Don't interrupt me. Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
They killed a man!
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers. We've talked to Everard Clare. We know who these men are. The Union's militant wing.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer. My character has no ideology, by the way. We get some money for spouting, like, pro-capitalist stuff. And we work for Everard Clare doing whatever he wants so that he gives us a pat on the back. I guess we think of him as like our father. I don't know. But yeah, I really don't care about any of this, honestly. My character doesn't care about any of this. He just wants to solve a murder and have fun doing it.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
All right, so like I said, we don't have an ideology. And most of these are talking about ideology, although cool and funny is, yeah. Privatization is not unlawful. It's cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individuals.
I don't need privatization peons from a rent-a-cop. Just do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
What are you going to do to me? The lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach.
What are we going to do to you?
Her laughter is a cold laughter, devoid of joy.
The Union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Of course.
Goddamn right it is.
Is that what Titus sounds like?
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
And what's your role in all this? You're a lawyer, I know, right?
Obviously, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
A legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
I should talk to Titus then. Interesting. Let's ignore him for a little bit. Let's collect our money. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Photos of men in overalls. Excuse me, Titus. Toting guns and Union placards. Oh, that wasn't Titus. That was one of these other boys. And then what's over here? You see hawthorn bushes outside.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Oof. It's not time yet, huh?
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
The mysterious door was seen, but it is not time yet. Let's revert our gaze and keep that in the back of our heads for when it's time. Are we gonna, throw him? No, we're gonna see something out there. What on earth are we gonna see out the window? Kuno, maybe? All right. Well, Mr. Hardie.
This is where you say your bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can. Okay, there we go.
He and his men carry themselves like giants. You'll need to prove your mettle to be taken seriously.
I'm sure I can handle that.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. First, we need to talk about your attitude.
Wow. The RCM sent us some big dick cops.
Real big dick cops. Look at them. Reckless. Swinging in the wind.
Swinging in the wind.
Yeah, look at the big dick on that cop. Can't tell a dick that big what to do.
Thank you, Shanky.
Must be something in the water in Jamrock.
He says thoughtfully, you know, Elaine, you're probably right.
Yeah, gave them real nice big dicks.
These guys are so complimentary of us.
Yeah. Anyways.
He wraps it up.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Uh-huh.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Let's scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Wants the world to know he's a macho man. Tobacco chewing and knuckle cracking. Who else do we have here? Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet.
I am pretty good with names. I wonder if I can memorize these. We got Titus, Glenn, and Theo.
Across, at the other table, hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s.
Titus, Glenn, Theo, Elaine. Titus, Glenn, Theo, Elaine.
And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardie, Captain.
Captain of your rowing club, were we? That's not very blue collar, is it? Maybe in Revachol it's rowing is like a blue collar thing, but where I live it's pretty hoity-toity. All right, Titus, Glenn, Theo, Elaine.
In the far corner, Standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Where? Eugene has a plectrum. What's a plectrum?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important.
Not important. Probably my encyclopedia skill knows.
Let's call this one the musician.
It is important. I don't know. What? Okay. Is that some sort of whistle, like a musical instrument? Anyways. All right, who's the little guy? So that's Eugene, Titus, Glenn, Theo, Elaine, Eugene, and the little guy?
Size 41.
Wait,
with
who's that?
A light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing.
How little is this guy? Where is he? Is that Shanky? They just moved the camera over. Yeah, that looks kind of like his collar. Not really, though. He has way more hair in his photo. Is that the little guy? Huh. Is there supposed to be another guy sitting right here? I don't know who Shanky is. We'll call that guy Shanky. Eugene, Elaine, Glenn. No, Theo, Glenn.
In the middle, heaving and wheezing.
Wait, that's Fat Angus. Ah, man, who is Eugene?
46 deep marks, probably carried the
that's
victim
Eugene.
over.
Okay.
He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
Why did I think Eugene had a hat on? Eugene totally had a hat on. But okay, that's Fat Angus. I don't know who Eugene is anymore. Who's the musician?
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
There is a discrepancy. One of them is missing. The odd soul. That's right. The one who was limping. Yeah, that must have been Eugene. And that's the little one. And that's Fat Angus. All right. Eugene. And who is the little one? Shanky. Eugene, Shanky, Fat Angus. Elaine, Theo, Glenn. Titus. Titus, Glenn, Theo, Elaine, Fat Angus, Shanky, Eugene. Where's the odd soul? Was it her?
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardie?
The 8th Hardie boy.
The fuck is with you, fella?
Where's the 8th Hardie boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up. I don't believe you.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Hardie girl?
She? So there's an 8th Hardie, and it's a Hardie girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
The gardener? No, she's a lawyer.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
I think we found out Odd Soul.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Really? It's quite the threat.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardie sooner or later.
Just one question, Titus. The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
So, you're not just here to swing your big dick. You're here for the pretty boy. A real looker, that one. Stinks like shit, too.
Yes.
They love him, boss. Spend all day digging around in there. Can't get enough of that pretty boy smell.
Pretty much Shanky. Shanky's right there.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Ooh. We have spoken to the head of the Union.
Evrard?
Yes, him.
And what did he tell you? That we killed him? That we took a cargo belt from the harbor, went out back, and used it to hang him?
The man gets a strange gleam in his eyes. His fist contracts as if going through the pulling motion again, savoring it.
I know you didn't kill him that way. Maybe he wishes he killed him that way, huh?
Because we did. All of us together. I hope he told the story straight. I hope he told it well.
You boys got your story straight. Interesting.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
But there's a catch.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
Oof. Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardie boy without arresting all Hardie boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Let's address Titus. No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
I thought she did, pointed Elizabeth.
Wasn't a question, dickwad. How fucking stupid are you?
This asshole is worse than... Titus runs the Hardie Boys, genius. That's why we're called the Hardie Boys. Ain't that right, fellas?
I didn't actually know they were called the Hardie Boys when I started calling them the Hardie Boys, did I? I called them the Hardie Boys because someone else called them boys, and Titus Hardie runs it. And there's a book series, The Hardie Boys, that I used to read. So that's really funny that they are also calling themselves the Hardie Boys.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
Oranese Special Forces, eh?
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
Oh, he came in, huh?
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Right, sure, but what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wiped spittle from his mouth. The rape is very interesting to me.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Oh, I didn't really have any juice in there to crack, huh? Sad.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
Interesting. One of your girls, huh?
He grabbed someone?
Oh, and I did notice Eugene looks like him. He was black. Let's see. The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information. Yeah, me too, Lieutenant.
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Sounds like he was on something. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted? Raped, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Lucky you were there.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
I heard. Right, but okay, so who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
All right, so Sunday night, was that when this hanging incident occurred?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind Titus, only 7 minutes left of our drinks and smokes.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had he been in town?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
I should not try and paraphrase this. I should just read it like it says, huh? Because then it doesn't make sense. All right, thank you, Glenn.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
All right.
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
Makes sense.
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? A representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
Yes, we know.
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He's pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
Sounds good.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
So how does the bullet in his head factor into this? Is this... Should we let on? Maybe first we slip around. How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
The lieutenant goes in for the leg sweep. Titus does not see it coming.
Oh, he's gonna not like our bullet in the head remark.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clapped him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
You're such a liar.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock the victim out?
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
And where did all this action take place?
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Weren't you listening?
Yeah, things aren't quite right here, are they?
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
who's cracking? Fat Angus. This one, he's sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link in the chain. Hey, you! Fat Angus, you having trouble breathing over there?
No.
He looks up, startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Yes. That drink both fit my mood and also I can just sense there's a fight coming.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
Yeah, there's something you're not telling me.
And fuck you too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Well, I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, Copper?
How does the bullet in his head factor into this?
Huh?
A sip of beer makes the surprise go down easier.
There was a bullet in the dead man's brain. Why was it there if you hanged him?
How the fuck do I know? Anyone could have shot him. Target practice, maybe.
He's tight-lipped suddenly.
This line of questioning is over. You got the cause of death already? Hanging. If there's any post-mortem trauma, it's your problem. This will not turn into a cross-examination.
And why don't I just arrest you?
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive with hatred. Oh, Shanky, you don't even know.
A fearful readiness, like an electrical charge, raises hairs in the room.
Oh, I want to punch someone so bad.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
I don't know if I'm in the mood to listen to you, esprit de corps.
While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Let's just die. Why not? You confessed to murder. I'm taking you in.
Look, coppers, I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us and 2 of you.
Uh-huh.
That's an Easter 50. A Ziemsk-made monstrosity. It'll blow your head clean off.
All right. Little guy was right. I'm not in the arresting mood. He puts his gun away. I see. All right, calm down.
The little guy? You're the little guy now.
Oh, you think so?
So, little guy, you had some questions?
Yeah, little questions.
No, we're done questioning you. What are we going to do now?
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
I'm going to take off now. There's just one more thing I want to try. Is it time?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
It's not time yet. But you know, we lost that 97% chance check earlier. Maybe we'll get a 3% chance check.
Nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window.
We revert our gaze. Step out of the room. And collect ourselves. Not quite sure what we're going to do next, but I know I'm going to have fun. Until then, y'all take care.